Flag is the flag. It's backwards?
Trying to get it. He was trying to get it. Only in America. Thank you.
See, we need to be corrected about stuff like this, okay? All right. So, start up, Doc.
Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. God bless America. Thank you, Dr. Simpson. Okay. Where's the? I got one here. Okay, so I'm going to read the so-called easy rules for everybody. And first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank anybody that did the military besides me and Carrie. Who else was in the military? Who? Oh, James? Okay. Sergeant Major. Been his rank too. And Bill. How you doing, Bill? All right. I was in Vietnam. I did 20 years in the Air Force and 30 years with my dad. So
20 years.
You did 20 years? All right. Thank you for serving our country. I'm 100% disabled though, so I'm.
Not 100%.
Who said 32? 32 years? Oh, nobody? Okay. Okay, so let me go over the rules here. Even though Grace is not here today, this is still a moment with Sonny and Grace, and I'm Sonny, I'm not Grace. Okay? We are from Sunnyview Ranch, north of the freeway. Grace and I have been doing this for a few years, probably like 4. And we've never had any problems. Everybody's been nice. Not one problem I've ever had. We need to make a small donation to the owner of this restaurant who did not charge us. Thank you. This is my daughter. Hey, honey, I'm excited to do that. I'll call you back. Okay. Okay, so thank everyone who are here viewing us on Facebook Live, who could not make it here today, okay? Also, transparency. So I'm going to be transparent with you. A few of these board members I know very well. One of them, I'm helping them with the campaign. So keep me in check. Make sure I'm not doing anything that you think might be unfair to the rest of the candidates, okay? We don't need to know who it is that I support, but still, I'm just letting you know that, okay? Okay, if there's anything that Mayor Grace failed to mention or forget something, you can always raise your hand or just Sonny or holler out a little bit, and we'll stop and address what concerns you have. So don't be afraid to speak up because we're all in the same city. We all live in Moreno Valley, or most of us do. And so we're here for our city, not for anybody, one individual. We're trying to decide who's going to be a mayor, who's going to be a leader in District 4 and on the school board. Okay? Any questions so far? Our second debate will be on the 13th of October right here. 16th of October, I'll look at the 3. 16th of October at 3 p.m. Thanks for correcting me. Today, correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys want to change this or you want to change anything that I say, let me know. We're going to be fair to everybody, okay? Each candidate will get a 2-minute opening remarks. 2 minutes, okay? Not exactly, but I'll be looking at my watch. 2 minutes. Somebody else will too, okay? When you're asked a question, your response should be no more than 30 seconds to a minute. Is that long enough for you?
30 seconds.
Huh?
30 seconds is fine.
You think 30 seconds is fine? Okay, if you go over, that's okay. We'll watch you. So we'll try to keep it at 30 seconds. What'd you say? Oh, you hit Debra. Okay, closest one to you on your right. Okay. So we need questions from the audience. We've got some already. And I need somebody to ask questions. I don't care if you're married or related to anybody up here. I just need somebody to ask questions. Oh, Roy? Can Roy handle it? He's eating. No, you can't eat with food in your mouth. Well, you can eat with food in your mouth, but doctor, is that safe for him to talk with food in his mouth?
No.
And Doc said, yeah, but just be careful. All right, so we'll have a seat there, anywhere right here, whatever. Okay? And then halfway through this, there'll be a 5-minute break. The restrooms are back there in the back there. Men and women are back there. Okay? The candidates will be asked the same question. We're going to give the school people a little bit of break on that. Okay? They can or they don't have to answer some question because it has nothing to do with their school. That's why I look at it. If you think it does, go ahead and answer it. Yeah, he's running for school board. After this event is over with, we must quickly leave because Al is standing here. He's been here since this morning, 7 or 8 o'clock or whatever, and so I'm sure he wants to get home to his family. During the 5-minute break, you can ask the candidates anything you want to ask them. They'll tell you don't want to answer it, or they'll answer it. Okay, so we don't want to put pressure on anybody, or catch them outside, whatever. But anyway, you can ask them other questions that you didn't get asked, or if you want to have a question asked that we didn't cover, then ask. Okay. And all candidates will be asked the same exact question. And please, no applause. No applause at all till the very end. Okay, unless we ask you to applaud. Right now, we need all the candidates to list up because the doctor's here. We need to start with ladies first over there. Did you already do yours? Because I'm not giving you already. Okay, start right here. Just pass it around there. Make sure everybody gets sanitized. And if anybody else wants to use their cell phone to go Facebook Live, whatever, you can do that. Just don't get in anybody else's way. Okay? We're almost ready.
My lens is upside down. Is it looking okay?
What's wrong?
My lens, look at my camera. Upside down.
It's upside down?
No.
But it's recording okay, but are you getting comments from people? Okay. No, well, I'll do it now.
Oh, do it right now.
Well, because I have to get
Well, no, can you bring the camera? Is it plugged in?
No.
Does Roy know how to do
It
that?
looks like it's recording, so we'll just leave it.
Are people upside down? Okay, then don't worry. All right. Okay, and then before you answer the question, once in a while, say your name or whatever, let everybody know who you are in case they forgot, okay? And then we have one candidate who could not make it today. He has some problems in his family, some tragedy. And he called me and said, I forget who it was, but he said he's not here. I guarantee that. So, huh? If he's not here, maybe that was him. I don't know. I don't remember the name because his name didn't show up on my phone. Okay, so anyway, so he said he'll definitely be back here on the 16th of October. Okay, then at the end of the debate, during halftime, if anybody wants to come up here and promote their business all over Moreno Valley, because I think Moreno Valley Matters has how many? 2 million viewers?
Yeah, I think it's like 4 million.
4 million?
Yeah.
Anywhere from 27,000 to 4 million is global. All the way to, what, Ukraine?
Yeah,
Isn't it Ukraine too?
there, but,
Russia, look at the Moreno Valley Matters and take it off running. Okay, I think that's it. Okay? So at this time, we're going to have the candidates say their name and who they are, what they're here for, what they believe in, and all that kind of good stuff. And then we'll have Mr. Roy take over. No.
There you go.
I tried. All right, well, good afternoon. My name is Greg Custer. I live in Moreno Valley City Council District 4, and that is the district I'm running for. I moved here in 2002 for the last time the Angels won the World Series. It was about 20-something years ago. So that's me and my family moved out here from Orange County. All of my kids went through Moreno Elementary, Mountain View Middle School and Valley View High School, so very blessed to be here and be part of this community. When I knew that this seat was going to be an open seat, I thought, well, maybe something I can do with my experiences in the private sector could be a benefit to the city. So that's why I'm running for city council. Thank you.
You don't need to stand up.
Anyway, I'm Greg. Nice to meet you. Hello. Greg Custer. I'm running for city council district number 4. All right. Thank you, Doug.
Hi, my name is James Early. I'm
A little
running for
louder.
Moreno Valley.
Louder.
Hi, my name is James Early. I'm running for Moreno Valley Mayor.
Can't hear you. What was your name?
My name is James Early. Sorry, my throat's kind of. I've lived here for 32 years. I grew up out here first, and then we moved back. My dad was stationed at the base. I've seen a lot of changes in Moreno Valley in 32 years. I like to see it go back to the mom and pop's places instead of the big buildings. That's about all I got.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello, everybody here. My name is Alfredo Diarte. I am running for school board in District 1, Moreno Valley Unified School District. I moved out here about 4 years ago. I grew up in Los Angeles, and the Lord has me here. I love this area. I've acclimated out here. I love it out here. I don't see myself moving out here for the foreseeable future. I guess the Lord has me here for the time being. I am very, very concerned where our school system is going. And that's why the Lord has me here running to represent the parents, represent the students, and yes, the teachers and everybody else that falls in line. There's a lot of things that I don't agree with that are going on right now in our school system, and I'm here to fight. Fight for the Lord, fight for you guys, fight for the kids, and fight for the students. Once again, my name is Alfredo Diarte, running for school board in Moreno Valley, District 1. You guys have a blessed one.
Hello, my name is Debra Craig, and I vowed in 2016 that I would never run. I ran for city council, that I would never run again, but here I am running for mayor. And one of the reasons why I'm running for mayor is I run Moreno Valley Matters Facebook page and Instagram page. Instagram has 75,000 followers. Facebook has 25. At one time we had 80,000, but Facebook unpublished it. Not have to ask them why. But anyway, I think that we have a lot of people who are active volunteers in the community. But I volunteer my time beginning at 5 a.m. in the morning till 10 o'clock at night because I answer 100 messages a day, every day from residents. I feel like I'm the one candidate who really knows what's going on in the city. I know the car accidents. I know the dogs that are being found or being rehomed. I know, the crime that's going on. And not only do I know it, I spread it to all of my readers. And the reason why I decided to run is because I just don't want to talk about problems. I want to be active in finding solutions for them. And I thought, what better way than to become mayor? So that's why I'm here. And just say hello, shout out to all my readers. Hey, bye.
Hi, I'm Lindsey Robinson, and I moved here in 1997. I chose Moreno Valley over Norco for the Northeast End because volunteers were building the equestrian center, and I thought our city was committed to keeping a certain area of the town rural. I'm retired from the University of California, Riverside as a researcher and a former member of the University Professional and Technical Employees Research Union. As soon as I got here, I began volunteering in different ways. I joined the Moreno Valley Community Band and the Trail Seekers. Since then, I've been an arts commissioner. I've helped at the Salvation Army bell ringing, Sir Optimus and Optimus fundraisers, and many other activities. I've adopted a trail that I clean up. I also help clean up many parks, and most of it has been through resident organized, not city organized events. Hold it closer. Sorry,
There you go.
I'm not a speaker. I think that the city has gone the wrong way, and special interests and campaign donors get more privileges than the residents do, and I think it's time to turn that around. We have great residents here that we need to focus on and not special interests. So I'm putting the residents first and hoping helping to change things, protect our health and quality of life from the warehouses next to residences and rezoning residential land to commercial buildings. I know people from throughout the city, and we're all willing to work together to help fix our city. Thank you.
What is she running for?
What are you running for?
Oh, sorry.
Mayor. She's running for mayor.
I'm also running for mayor, sorry.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Fenn, and I'm running for the Riverside Community College District TA5, Trustee Area 5, which, by the way, is the city of Moreno Valley, as well as some of the surrounding communities, such as March Air Reserve Base. I am, as Sonny, where'd he go? Sonny pointed out, I am retired United States Air Force. I spent 20 years on active duty. And my first of several degrees came from a community college, the Community College of the Air Force. It took me 10 years to earn that degree because I was a single parent at the time. I was deployed overseas many, many times. So I am very familiar that that first college degree sets you on a path of just something that you end up being very proud of. I'm also right now a member of the Moreno Valley College Career and Technical Education Program. That program allows people such as myself to work with the college staff. Prior to the pandemic, we would meet and talk about some issues related to information technology and cybersecurity. Since the pandemic, we have been meeting virtually. However, want to make sure all of you know that Moreno Valley College is going to be opening up the Ben Clark Training Center at near off of Van Buren next month. And my advisory group that I'm a member of, the Moreno Valley College Career and Technical Education Program, is now going to be meeting there. I'm very proud to meet there. Why? Because I have taught at the Ben Clark Training Center when we were in trailers. We had sheriff's deputies, government employees, and we were all in trailers at the time. So to see the progress that's happened with the cooperation between Moreno Valley College and the sheriffs has been very remarkable. I'm running to make sure that the issues that our college district, which includes Norco College, Riverside City College, and Moreno Valley College, are addressed. We've got a plummeting enrollment as well as proficiency issues at the college. Obviously, COVID did create some of those issues, but some of them were created because we need to bring the right programs to Moreno Valley College and the other colleges in the district, the programs that are going to service the needs of the students that are attending, both those that are degree seeking as well as those that simply want to complete a certificate. Because as I learned in the United States Air Force, not everyone has to have a degree to be successful. You can be incredibly successful without a college degree. I'm looking forward to hearing some of your questions, and thank you, Sonny, for sponsoring this.
Happy birthday, Air Force.
Yes, happy birthday, Air Force.
Yeah.
75 years today.
I'm going to stand at the end of my speech because I have a little back situation going on here. Excuse my seat right now. My name is Dr. Patsy Brown, and I'm a resident here of Moreno Valley. I'm running for mayor. I'm also the chairperson of the Moreno Valley Citywide Coalition. And for the past 4 years, I've had a monthly meeting with the city administration and the city manager. And so during those 4 years of meeting with them on a monthly basis, I have been privy to some of the challenges and some of the inadequacies that we have in our community. And I think that it's time out for, I guess you would call us politicians, but I would like to call myself a representative of the people, because our Constitution was made as a constitution of the people, by the people, and for the people. We moved far away from that. I also know where the bodies are buried because I've asked strategic questions to the administration here in Moreno Valley. And yes, as my colleagues have said, it's time for integrity, diversity, and transparency. I believe as a pastor, I'm a pastor and have been here in this community for with a church since 2008. And on a daily basis, I deal with the homeless, I deal with the drug addicts, I deal with the women and children looking for homes, looking for equitable rent to pay. And I have my pulse on the need of this community. I think I'm the best candidate for mayor
of Moreno Valley because I have invested my own time, my own money, and my own blood, making sure that the disenfranchised of this community get what they need. Now, when you talk about the logistics center and the warehouses, all of the things that have been done underhand and undercover, I'm well aware of those. I've been holding the management of the Moreno Valley accountable for those as much as I could as a community activist. And I like to end this by saying a vote for me is a vote for you. Vote Brown for mayor.
Okay, thank you. Anybody got any questions so far?
Sunday, I have one question.
Okay.
Type of clock so we know how long we've spoken. Yeah, great.
I'll let you know. Or Roy or somebody.
Yeah, but we'll just kind of wing it. If you answer the question, you'll get time. If you don't, we'll move on to somebody else.
Everybody look at your watch and everything. And so let's hear for Roy.
You got it. So I want to get a little poll here. I'm just skimming through some of the questions. Some of them, I mean, we got 2 school candidates, and I think some of them, would not be appropriate for them. So would it be all right just to ask the city council candidates and mayor candidates here the city questions, and then maybe we'll throw some school questions at the 2 school candidates? Would that be fine with everybody?
That'll work.
You got it? Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead. If you want to throw in on it, you can, you'll get time. You got that. So the first question is off the top, and this is mainly on for the city candidates. On Sunnymead Boulevard, it's asking, what would you do to clean up the homelessness, prostitution rings? And I will add, and I put it out before on iNewsWire and my shows, we've had 10 years, we've had human trafficking going on, and the sheriff's department has had a regular patrol out here. So it's a major problem. It's a major problem coming in through our borders now right here, so it has the effect across that. So I would like to know, and the audience would like to know, what would you do specifically to clean up the homelessness, vagrants, prostitutions that's been going on right up and down this boulevard that most of us have seen? What would you do? We'll start with Greg. Well, he's running for city council, so he may have a vote on it.
No, District 4.
District 4.
District 4. That's okay. Thank you. That is a big question.
Oh, I love technical stuff.
Time's up.
Go ahead.
Obviously, I think working with our law enforcement.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
That one working? Here. I'll give him this one.
At least that part.
Is this better? Want me to stand up? Okay.
Stand up, yeah.
Okay. No bothering you. Okay. I think continuing working with the sheriff's department. I know that the city has a program with the Work to Home program, working with Salvation Army. And I obviously, with regards to prostitution, that is working hand in hand with law enforcement, how we can better equip them to be able to handle this situation, and working with other, organizations within the city to maybe help with the homelessness. And with that, on the District 4 area, there's not a whole lot of prostitution on that end of it. But I obviously in this area, I think definitely working with law enforcement, how can we work better with the sheriff's department to be able to curb this and figure out a way how to make it go away, obviously, and also to help the homeless out and finding good solutions on getting them help with that. Is that okay? Okay.
Fine.
You want to continue with
Well,
this?
try with MC, Mr. Early. You try to answer the question.
You want to read it again?
Do you need to read it again?
I work with the homeless because I run a nonprofit reptile rescue. We feed their animals, and I think working with law enforcement would be the best way to do it, and bring more law enforcement up in this area. Because I've talked to a lot of law enforcement, and they say that they don't have very many officers in this area. So I think that would be the best way to take care of it, because that's the only solution, is working with law enforcement. And prostitution, that's, like I said, working with law enforcement is going to be the best way to do it. bringing more law enforcement up and taking to handle the problem. Thank you.
Try it again.
Okay, I would say it's like the law enforcement issue. There's only so much we can do. So if law enforcement's not doing enough, maybe we have to examine our law enforcement. We do contract out with Riverside County, and I've done a lot of research about if you have your own police force, are they more vested in the community? Riverside County Sheriff's does a fine job, I'm not saying, but we do pay them a lot. It would cost a lot to start our own police force, but would we get more accountability? Would they be more willing to do what it takes to resolve the problems? I don't know. I just think it's something that we need to look into, whether we want to continue with contracting with the county or starting our own police force.
Lindsey Robinson. As far as the homeless, that's a multifaceted issue because every homeless person has a different problem that needs to be addressed. I've looked into something called Family Promise. That's a nationwide group associated with churches mostly. Riverside has a couple branches, as does Yucaipa and Calamasa. You know, we need to reach out to more, I think, of the church groups to get help. But as far as the crime, I think our police force is doing the best they can. We are still understaffed. We're at 0.7 per 1,000 residents, where they say they want 1 per 1,000. So how do we increase it? We can't because of the budget. Well, we have to look for other ways. Another important thing that we can do is the police department has a volunteer force, and you actually get in a car with a partner and you drive around as volunteers and look for these problems. And you can pick the area you go to. So having volunteer patrols on Sunnymead could go a long way in helping our police department and getting the POP team out there. The prostitution, that's a legal issue, and our state has gotten very soft on crime. So the police may arrest the lady that's having sex on a balcony in one of the buildings, and she's out the next day. So the police's hands is tied in a lot of these issues. There's a lot more that needs to be done to clean up Sunnymead. And is it the city issue or is it the shopping centers? Because the sidewalks are a mess, and I believe that's a city issue where they should be out here cleaning, power washing and trimming the trees. So we covered prostitution, homeless, police department, and there's just so much to do. But as residents, there is a way you can really help. Join the volunteer force or get out, be the eyes on the ground for our police department. Thank you.
You'll see how.
First of all, the prostitution, I want to talk about the prostitution problem. The prostitution problem is the focus is on the prostitute and not the John. And so the people that are caught in the act of arrest of prostitution, the person with the car is not arrested, only the woman that's doing the act. That's problem number one. Because if these men that are driving cars on their way back and forth to home and from work will begin to be arrested, then some of what you see on Sunnymead Boulevard would not occur, because most of these people have jobs and they are skating past, they are not the target of prostitution. So we need to change the target from the woman to the woman and the man that they have sex in daylight in cars up and down Sunnymead Boulevard. The second thing is not the police staffing problem. The problem is that we've changed our loitering in Moreno Valley. The vagrancy and loitering laws have been changed and relaxed so that they don't have the enforcement policy that they had in former times. So that needs to be changed. That's something that the mayor could help facilitate to do. The third thing is we need to have some social program to call these ladies that are arrested to be filtered through instead of just arresting them, bailing them out, putting them back out on the street. So it's just a revolving cycle. Now I want to talk about the homeless. That's a pet peeve of mine. The city of Moreno Valley gets X amount of dollars from the federal government every year for sheltering the homeless and providing services. That money goes to Path of Life in Riverside, and it does not hit the streets of Moreno Valley. For 4 years, I have been asking who approved my tax dollars in Moreno Valley to go to Path of Life, which is a Christian organization in Moreno Valley. Are we to tell the homeless here in Moreno Valley that they need to walk over to the Path of Life in Riverside? That's your money. That's my money. You have no say in it. The whole amount of money goes to Riverside. You can look it up for yourself. Now, when it comes down to
10 seconds, wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
If you're done, hand it to Carrie because I'm going to start with her. You got it. No, that's fine.
No, you're good.
I mean, you still want to get it where somebody's dominating the whole. You're at the microphone. See if this one's working. Is this one working? Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna start with Carrie because it's along the same lines. I'll give the two school board candidates a chance to answer, and then the rest of the city candidates can chime in more on it. It's about public safety in Moreno Valley or in general. So I'm going to start since they didn't. Obviously, school safety has been in the news very much. We have a couple of different things, so I'll set it up. Where Carrie's running with the RCC, they have their own police department that runs that, everything. Moreno Valley.
Part of the Riverside County Sheriff's Association. Yes.
Where Moreno Valley Unified doesn't. We have Valverde School District in our K through 12, which is the only school district in the Inland Empire with their own police force. So that's I would like both candidates, or at least Freddie, to chime in. Do you think it would be a good idea for MVUSD to have their own police force? But what do you know, or what is going on with public safety as far as that? And do you know if the RCC Police Department participated in the active shooter training that was held at Valverde?
I do not know if they participated in active shooter training, but I do know that I have. I'm a professor at the University of Redlands, and just like every other university, every other school district, every other community college district, we do participate in active shooter training because it's a reality of life. It's a reality that we all have to face, that when I go to school and I open up my classroom, we have procedures in place inside my classroom as to what would happen if we had an active shooter situation, how to secure the classroom. Do we run, fight, or hide? Those are the things you're taught when you go through active shooter training. It is the reality of life. But as far as Riverside Community College District, as Roy suggested, there is a very active presence on campus. They have patrol cars, they have sworn deputies, and they do take charge of any incidents that occurs on campus. And they do so in a very, from my understanding, having met with 2 student groups thus far, they do so in a reasonable manner. That was the comment that was given to me by 2 student groups. Thank you. Are they armed? They're posted. Yes. Yes, they are. Yeah.
Okay, I want to say something right quick. I think we have sodas back here. They're getting cold in the cooler. Is that right? They're
Yes,
back
go
there.
grab some.
Water, huh? Is there ice in it? There's ice in it? Yeah, so if you want water or soda, yeah, it's in the cooler back. The cooler's back there.
Okay, go ahead, Frank.
Okay, once again, my name is Alfredo Diarte, running for school board, Moreno Valley District 1. I view the school board much like I heard somebody reference this to the Congress. We have the power of the purse. We have the power to fund in the school board. It's time we put cops in our schools.
Yeah.
What more do you want? A paid professional that knows how to handle guns in different scenarios than a guard with no gun? So yes, most definitely we have to fund the police. We have to fund them back into our schools. If you send your child to school, you expect your child to get picked up safely in one piece, day in and day out. So that's what I'm going to be fighting for. We're going to fund. We're going to work with our local government. We're going to work with the mayors, whomever we have to put a cop, at least one cop in each school in my district and beyond. Our children need to come back home to us. day in and day out. That is an expectation every parent should have and should be able to hold to. That is my position on that.
We're going to get you guys. Okay, just hand it to Debra. So we're going to do the public safety on Moreno Valley, of course, on that. Okay, well, you can do that one when you get to you. Whichever way you want to take it, fine. So my specific question to the ones running for city council and mayor are, what would you do differently with our public safety, whether it be fire or police, than the council is doing now? Whether starting our own police department, whether redoing the budget, whether looking at different ways to add more boots on the ground at less cost, all of those things. What are your specific plans on day one when you come in to office? What are you going to do to increase public safety in Moreno Valley?
Hold on a second. I just want to say, am I going to give you 30 seconds because I want to talk about the food safety? You'll be fine. Yes. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, was really interested about the budget, and I have a friend, and he lives in Redlands, and he was a former lieutenant for the Redlands PD. The Redlands budget is $327 million. They have 60,000 people. The budget for Moreno Valley is $118 million, like almost a third or a half. Our police budget is $48 million of that, $24 million for fire. Menifee broke away. I'm not criticizing Riverside County Sheriff's Department. I'm just saying that this has been entertained back and forth since I've been actively involved in the city government. I just think it's time we entertain about, what it would be like to have our own police force. I think we're a city of over 217,000 people. Again, I have done a lot of research, and research shows that people who are employed by their own city seem to be more accountable and be more vested.
Just one clarifying question I have of your numbers. You said $100 million on Moreno Valley budget and 300 of that.
Yeah,
is that both just the general fund, or is that all spending?
You know what? For the Redlands one, I got that figure from my friend, so I'm not really certain. The 118, it was 118 it was the general budget.
General fund?
The general, it was 118 to 223 for the general budget.
So the general fund, because I heard the
And I just want to say, it's not necessarily a cost-saving move to do your own police department. It could be like a wash. But the thing is, what will you get? What will you get for your money?
Okay. Lindsey.
Well, he wanted to know what I would do on day one, but I would have a huge learning curve to go in there and ask all the questions about these numbers that she's already found out. I do think we need more police, but whether it's our own police force at this time with the current leadership, I don't believe so, because we would not have the use of we would have to pay for the helicopters, the dogs, special vehicles and everything that would add on to what we all get right now with the police force that we have through the Sheriff's Association. So again, it would be a huge learning curve the first day in office, but certainly I want more police, and but I also want more police volunteers from the residents, because I think you could be a big help. Thank you.
Yeah, and both, you can comment on both the schools and
Let me go my 30 seconds for the schools. First of all, Pastor Mark Oriana and myself worked with the superintendent of the Moreno Valley Unified School District to develop a program called Hearts United. And at Hearts United, we developed volunteers to be on lunch duty and dismissal duty. And we recently developed another program called Clergy on Campus. And so now we have clergy assigned to each middle school and elementary school, following the model from Lake Havasu. Lake Havasu was having murders or deaths in school weekly, and they developed the Clergy on Campus program as safety observers, and it reduced the crime on campus tremendously.
Flip over to the city. What would you do specifically?
Well, that's what I asked you. Was I going to get my full 30 seconds for that?
You went over that. So
I went over?
So
Okay.
you're on the city one.
let me see how to say it really fast. I agree with Lindsey that we do not need, at this point, our own police force at this time, but what we do need is community policing. And we do not have that. We have cameras instead of police monitoring up and down the neighborhood. The sight of a police car coming through your neighborhood is a deterrent. We've been working with the Moreno Valley Sheriff's Department and the city to have more community policing.
So just hang there. The next one has to do. Did you guys like give them guys a chance?
Yeah.
I was already thought I didn't do it. Go ahead. Thank you. No problem. What's your one?
Again, Craig Custer, District 4. Thank you for the question. I do agree. Day one, it would be very difficult to come in. You have to learn what's going on in the city. I like the agreement. I think we have a good agreement with Riverside County Sheriff's Department. I think we need to grow it. I think we're about a little bit over 200 officers, deputies right now, and we need to grow that. And I like the community policing aspect of it as well. We have a beta test right down the street with Menifee with their own. They just chucked everything and started their own police department and put all the money into that. And from what I understand, they're still using RSO services with regard to helicopter and things of that nature. Riverside Sheriff's has such an immense amount of equipment that we have access to. So I don't think we should do that. We should go away from that. I think we should continue to work on that. Look at the budget, see if we can increase maybe getting 20 or 30 extra deputies here in Moreno Valley to help with that. And then also to get the volunteer work to do community policing. Thank you.
I absolutely agree with that. I do agree we need to work on the budget for the police department. They need to be more cops on the streets. More of our city need to be involved. The people in the city need to be like neighborhood watches to try to control some of the problems. There's been a lot of active shootings. So yeah, I do believe we need a lot more police, so we need to stronger the budget.
Hand it down to Lindsey. We'll start with Lindsey on the next question. The next question, yes, back well. See, can't say I didn't make you number one or something. Next question has to do with political corruption in Moreno Valley. So I'm going to tailor it two ways. No, 2 minutes. No, I could go till 2:00 in the morning on political corruption in the city, and I'm going to tailor it two ways for the city candidates. I'm going to do it one way for the school candidates. I'm going to say what, specifically in your areas, do you think there's any corruption going on in our schools, in our school districts? Let's start with in the city. We recently had what the district attorney determined was an illegal appointment in our city.
Sure did.
And in that, we had an appointment and a removal on that. There's been questions for that. There are still questions today on the corruption that's been going on in our city on that.
Can I have a question?
Hang on a second.
You are part of that group. So I think we need to keep this neutral, and the question needs to be neutral. Because if you're going to talk about corruption, then let's talk about your people's corruption.
Well, they can talk about any corruption they want. I'm saying this is the most recent example.
This is about them, not about you.
We
need to keep it, please.
So go ahead. Answer the question.
30 seconds.
No, you did.
You have a minute. As long as you want.
Our city has had a lot of corruption since the big money infiltrated our political machine and got their candidates elected, and they've become the council majority. So everything happens to benefit the special interests and the big money, and it is against the residents. They don't care about us and our quality of life and health. So I can name a whole lot of corruption, but in 30 seconds I can't do so. But our current mayor was illegally appointed in 2013, and it cost us almost $300,000 to get him removed through the court system. Two of our council members made a bad mistake, I did not condone it. I did not know about it ahead of time, or I would have told them don't do it. They corrected it per the law, and it got fixed. Is there still corruption? The general plan update was a complete corrupt system during COVID, where the mayor appointed two of his biggest campaign donors over the years to the committee, refused to appoint anyone from the Northeast. The whole committee was his friends. They've now allowed his campaign donors to rezone to high density and commercial north of the freeway, which is going to financially benefit his campaign donors, which is total corruption, and that is in the court system. They keep approving stuff that keeps going to the courts. We have an interim city attorney for over 2 years now. They fired our assistant attorneys, who are both honest, ethical men and now have great jobs. But all of our money goes to this interim attorney, who has a private practice and also is the attorney for another city. He was fired from Desert Hot Springs for failure to pay taxes. Instead of assistant attorneys, our other legal fund, we pay his private practice attorneys. Okay, so we only have one legal voice here. And that, to me, is corruption. We need a real attorney. We need our two assistant attorneys back. That's their money saving. Let's balance the budget. They come out with a balanced budget. Well, they're playing with numbers. Are our streets fixed? No, but that doesn't count. But that shows that we don't really have a balanced budget. We don't have enough police, but they say we have the city manager. He's the head of the economic development and the city manager. They say that's a cost savings. Well, it's not helping us. We had another person who was doing 3 jobs as an executive staff member. That doesn't help us. We're being shortchanged so that they can say we have a balanced budget. That's part of the corruption.
If you want to comment,
I'm not going to follow Lindsey with anything there, because she hit everything nail on the head right there. But I would like to talk about the first issue she mentioned, and that is contributions. This city, and by the way, the state of California, had the option to accept voluntary contribution limits that are imposed on state candidates. It's called AB 571. Unfortunately, in the school districts, in all special districts, water districts, school districts, all community college districts, there is no cap on donations because AB 571 doesn't apply. So yes, again, we're seeing school district candidates in other cities getting $50,000 to $100,000 to run for school district. And for what? What does that, how does that help students? In my school district, we still do not have a cap either. I would advocate every elected office needs a cap on contributions. That was attempted. Maybe it's going to come back to the state legislature. But yeah, when you got that kind of cash flowing around, we had a race last summer where I ran against someone that had $200,000. So these are things that are real. They affect all of us, and they affect every single race, whether it be here in the city of Moreno Valley or the community college district. Thank you.
I brought this along just for this occasion. The Attorney General Bonta, Moreno Valley General Plan would exaggerate, but they put bait here, pollution burden in environmental justice communities. Now, this is a report. This report went to the Department of Justice because this Attorney General said that the council that we have continues to approve the plan for the logistics center without an accurate greenhouse emission plan. Not only do they keep approving this plan without a proper gas house emission plan, they also failed to improve the general gas house emission plan and continue to send the old plan over and over and over. They said the logistics center is the largest one in California and may be the largest one in the whole country. So how is it that we have board members that haven't caught on in 5 years that the plan that they have is not going to work. And now it is sent up to the Department of Justice, the Federal Department of Justice, because of what we call corruption. The board is corrupt. Riverside, and I blame the citizens, because they're the ones that put those people in office. I don't care if the guy had $2 million. The community put that man in office. So it's our job to get out here and tell people what's going on. And if they want a corrupt council, there's nothing we can do about it. But the corrupt council is there because your neighbors and your family and your friends continue to put the same people in office. I only want to talk about that one little bit. And then, one other thing. One other thing. When Carrie and I ran for our district, we did not get even a fair interview because it was rigged. And I'm sorry that you're upset about him mentioning the names of those people. But those two people that were involved in that have their hand in what they call dark money. They're being paid off. It's been proven. And so you need to get out and vote. You need to pick somebody that's not a politician. You need to tell your friends and your families that you've had enough of the corruption in Moreno Valley.
Craig Custer, Moreno Valley District 4. I've never run for anything before. This is my first time. And so I think going forward, I think we have an opportunity to, as we elect new, fresh people, that hopefully we'll see the corruption go away.
You're on.
Okay. I'm going to say it's being unethical too, and I don't understand. There are two candidates who are not here for mayor, and one of them I have issues with because he was told by the school district he could not campaign, and he kept wanting me to post something on Moreno Valley Matters, and I was at Moreno Valley High School, and I go, why you can't campaign? He goes, I know, but he does anyway. There was an ad that he had a meet and greet. He post meet the mayor, not meet the future mayor, not meet a candidate for mayor. He said meet the mayor. Why? I don't understand. I just hope. And I agree, the voters, that's one of my things. It's the voters who vote people in, and I just hope that the voters make the right choice.
Yeah. No, start with Patsy, and then we'll come back. Or you can go.
Well, as far as corruption in my race, I can speak of one incident that happened recently. The board tried having a meeting without letting anybody know, some kind of secret meeting that occurred. And I believe that's pretty close to a Brown Act violation, possibly, potentially. So I can definitely speak upon that. We definitely have to have, we have to be open to the public, to the parents, to the children, to the teachers. I'm definitely not for having these secret last-minute meetings and let nobody know about them and let them not be recorded. Definitely, we gotta have allow the public to know what's going on in the school boards. That type of stuff needs to go, and there should be the board should be a lot more open to the public and not have those type of meetings on top of whatever other corruption there is going on in the board that I'm probably not privy to now. But I would imagine as longer I live here, I'm gonna find out about it one way or the other.
So the reason, so we have a clarification, as you hear, I want to give the candidates the opportunity to respond on all the issues that are in there, not specific one, not have one be, say, backdoored by the other. That's why I wanted to set it up.
I want to say something right quick.
Go ahead.
To all the candidates, if you don't think you get enough time or anything, you can call me up. I will come probably to the Cupcake Bar, and I'll give you a half hour of Facebook Live, and you can say whatever you want to say. Okay, so don't be upset if you don't get enough time. Any one of y'all, call me up, and I'll meet you anywhere, really, and you can do your thing without being interrupted.
There you go. The next question ought to be fairly easy. It's about graffiti in the city. What would you do? And I mean, I will just say this, so everybody doesn't get all upset. There is an app. You can call the city. They'll have it done in 24 hours. If you look at a lot of places, I will say this, and I'm probably the biggest critic of things in Moreno Valley, but that's one thing we do very well. But I'll let the candidates say what their thoughts are on graffiti in Moreno Valley. Patsy.
Okay, I agree with you. We were on Sunny Mead Boulevard and Indian, and someone mentioned about the cleanup from the city. But I want to give kudos out to the city of Moreno Valley because we had defecation and all kind of things from the homeless over there. And at least once a month, city trucks would come and they would clean up that stuff. Any graffiti, they would do it. And I meant sometimes they had bulldozers. They had to turn the dirt over and all that kind of stuff. So kudos out to the city of Moreno Valley, and kudos out for the pop team and the eradication of graffiti.
I'll answer the question. I think I agree with Patsy that the city has done an admirable job considering how large our city is, how many districts there are, the amount of population, which is obviously centered on the west side of the city. But on the east side of the city, what we deal with more than graffiti is illegal dumping. And I was happy to hear that the city increased the fines to $1,000. As far as the community college districts are concerned, obviously those are campuses. They're kept in pristine condition. And if you've ever been to Moreno Valley College or Norco or Riverside City College, you recognize that they have their own facilities and maintenance, that they are their own agency. They're not part of the city of Moreno Valley. But if you do see something at Moreno Valley College, please report it, because I'm sure that the college will be just as responsive as the city is.
Our city has a great program for graffiti covering up. In less than 24 hours, if you notify them, they are out there and they paint over it. And the paint doesn't always match, but at least the graffiti. And the other thing with graffiti is they like to take pictures and give them to police because they track gang activity. So they have a great program. They do a great job. You just have to notify them.
Yes, the city does a great job with graffiti. The mobile app, if you don't have it, you should get it. They do a great job.
Yeah, as far as graffiti in reference to the school system, I come from Los Angeles. That stuff is all over the place, and it was pleasant to come out to this side of town and not have to see what I was raised on all my life in Los Angeles. So relative to Los Angeles, it's pretty clean out here. I don't see the graffiti as bad as in LA. Are there room for improvements? Of course, there's always rooms for improvement, and we're always open to solutions, right? So I'm glad that the city does a pretty good job as far as to graffiti. And in reference to the schools, and they're, in schools you will have gangs and stuff like that. For the most part, they look pretty clean, for the most part, relative. But we're always open for solutions, and there's always room for improvement. But I can say it's like everybody here. It's a pretty good job. It's clean. If nobody's ever lived in Los Angeles like I lived in LA, believe me, it's a lot cleaner.
Yes, absolutely. It's a lot cleaner than LA because I lived out there. I grew up in LA, and everything is covered. The part of Moreno Valley I live in, we don't have much because either me or my other maintenance team, we go out, we clean it up, or we call the team in, they clean it up for us. So our city of Moreno Valley does a good job of cleaning up the graffiti for us.
Well, I agree. I think we're all in agreement. The city's doing a great job. I know if it is an issue, or in District 4, I don't see a whole lot of that. But I know in the city of Riverside, they actually have programs where they allow some areas, buildings, that they let people come in and actually become an artwork area for that, and allow maybe some of the kids that are out there doing the tagging to be able to come in and express themselves that way, but in a way that actually becomes a piece of art that's part of the city. So I think that's something that we're seeing a lot of challenges, but that may be something that we could work with the youth in the area to encourage them that, yeah, you have a talent, it's a little bit different, but maybe we can put it towards where it's actually can be a very good community program. But I do agree the city's doing a great job when it comes to taking care of getting rid of the graffiti.
Okay. Pass the mic. Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to take just about a 5-minute break. give the candidates a chance to get something to drink or snack on, or if there's something back there. And remember, you can call me at any time, and I'll come out and meet you in person, one-on-one. And you can talk for about a half hour, say anything you want to say, okay? And don't forget, in that T-Mobile bag there, we're taking donations for Mr. Al, who's probably wanting to go home by now, but I'm going to check with how much more time we have, okay? And so please donate something in there if you get a chance. Drop something in, okay? And anybody got any questions right now? Okay, we're going to take a break, okay?
Throw them up here if you want. Get to the bathroom quick if you gotta
Could have beat Francis.